Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cool Weirdos Podcast. Cool Weirdos is my brand, and Weirdo stands for while everyone is replicating, demonstrate originality. I'm your host, Asha Therese, and I'm so excited to get into this topic today. We're going to get started here in a second. We're going to be covering some sensual things. All right, let's get right into it. All right, so I made a post the other day on my Instagram. I made a reel, and I've just been posting things. I've been on my journey. Of course, everyone knows that I've been on my healing journey, self-love journey, self-discovery journey, and spiritual journey, all of that. And just being more comfortable with being myself freely and open and accepting myself completely and fully. And I shared, because I posted a video doing the Sierra challenge where she had the bottle on her head and she had the scarf around her waist, no top on, doing a little wine or whatever. I did a little light wine because it was difficult to keep that bottle on my head. But that video might have been considered a little risque for some people, but it was no big deal to me. But I also shared, I've been sharing more of myself on my social media, and which may come to a shock to some people, who knows. But I also shared a post about sexual energy being creative energy, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But in the caption, I talked about my journey with celibacy, and I honestly don't know if it would be necessarily considered celibacy or abstinence. We're going to talk about the definitions here in a second. But I've been abstaining, or I've been celibate for going on 2 years in February. So let's read the actual definitions of celibacy versus abstinence, because the words, I guess, can be interchangeable, but some don't apply to others. So it says abstinence usually refers to the decision not to have penetrative sex. It's typically limited to a specific period of time, such as until marriage. And celibacy is a vow to remain abstinent over an extended period of time. For some, this may mean their entire life. So maybe I should say I'm abstinent, because there is no vow that I've set forth to remain abstinent for the remainder of my life or until marriage or anything like that. I'll get into my reasons and what I'm actually waiting for. So those are the difference, practicing celibacy, practicing abstinence, whatever. You may hear me say both interchangeably on the show today. So again, it will be 2 years in February since I've been abstinent. And I've practiced abstinence before several times in my adult life. I'm not one to, it's not that it may have not happened in my past, but I'm usually not one that, if I end a sexual relationship or any type of relationship with someone, to get right back into a new one. I usually wait several months in between. Even if I do meet somebody new, I still, just like to space myself at times. If things happen, it does, but this is not foreign to me. But I will say that this is the longest time that I've spent being abstinent in my adult life. I'm 33, I'll be 33 and a half, January 26th, and I have not been sexually active since I was 31. So that is, quite a long time for me, and I couldn't be more happy about the decision, actually. When someone has asked me what made me make this decision, I have a list. Pretty much I think it was just best for me because of the space that I've been in my life. And sex just isn't the same for me anymore. Maybe in my 20s, sex didn't necessarily have to have any type of deeper connection or deeper meaning. But since I have evolved in my spiritual and healing journey, sex to me means something different. It's more of a connection thing. It's more of a spiritual thing to me as well. And in my past, some of my partners simply just weren't on the same path as me, and I accepted it because I didn't really care too much about it. And at the time, my path was a little I'm just having fun, I'm dating, I like you, you like me, we're attracted to each other, let's get it on. Now, not so much. So, at this point in my life, I am wanting to be more intentional about what I do, whether that's in dating, in everything in life. Everything in life needs intention. So my intentions for my future require that I have a little bit more discipline in these areas. And, one being, I do desire to be in a relationship soon. And so why in the world am I having sex with someone who clearly has stated they don't want a girlfriend, they're not looking for a girlfriend, they don't want a woman at all? Another thing, I do want children one day, and I'm, again, 33. So these windows of time, I'm not worried about a biological clock, which is, of course, it's there, but I'm not stressing about it. But at the same time, these years that are leading up to when I desire to be a mother, it doesn't make sense for me to be spending my time with someone who doesn't want children, already has children, doesn't want more children, doesn't want children anytime soon, meaning in the next few years, or who I can't even see being the father of my children. So that was another big factor for me in the people that I select or chosen, the men that I have chosen to be intimate with. Why in the world would I be intimate with someone who doesn't want the same things for me? Why in the world would I want to be with someone that, if we so happen to have a slip up or anything like that, that we're both stressed out and so worried about the outcome could possibly result in a child? It kind of made me feel like I was backtracking in my early 30s when I was with a partner and we did have a slip up, and it was just like, oh, you gotta get a plan B. And I'm like, I feel like I'm back in my 20s. Like, I don't want to have to be getting no plan Bs and making mistakes and, worrying about a possible child being brought into the world, because at this point in my life, if I was to possibly be pregnant or be pregnant, that's something I want to intentionally try to do, for one. And then when it happens, I want it to be a joyous occasion. I want both of us to be happy and thrilled and excited about it, not worried, concerned, stressed out, panicked about it. And so that was, really a big deal for me. And as far as having different values, some people, you just don't believe in the same things. You just don't rock with the same type of choices, and that really matters. Like, your values, your core values really matter. And a lot of people don't think about that when you're choosing your sexual partner, like the things that they find important versus what you find important. And so that was one of the determining factors, as well as just finding someone that, is on their own journey, that is mature, and that is working on raising their spiritual growth, financial growth, personal growth. Like, if you are stuck in a rut or in a bad situation, or we're both struggling with something, like, what are we doing laid up? We need to be working on our own selves individually. Nothing sexy about laying up broke, and nothing sexy about laying up depressed. And I had to have this conversation with someone who, was a partner of mine, about coming at me in a sexual manner, but in the next or the previous breath, you were just talking about how depressed you were and how broke you are and how things are not going right in your life. Why do you think that I want to receive that type of energy via sex? I'm not a dumping ground for your sexual desires and for your depression or for your financial struggles or troubles or anything like that. And so when you really are on your journey and you are evolving, what you allow into your space or into your body, including what you eat, what you consume, what you watch, what you listen to, and who you have sex with, all that shit matters. Like, you become more aware of the things that you do and do not want to receive. Another thing for me was, which is so big for me, is intimacy and connection. And intimacy is different for different people. One of my partners thought that what I meant by intimacy was oral sex. No, That's not what I meant. Intimacy or foreplay, really specifically I said intimacy, but maybe they thought that intimacy was foreplay and that foreplay equates to oral sex. To me, intimacy is not just a foreplay thing. Intimacy does not just mean sex or oral sex. And intimacy is not just something you do right before you're getting ready to have sex or what you experience during sex. Intimacy is a always thing, like finding that connection with someone, being intimate. That is so many more things that don't even have to even require sex, like eye contact, physical touch, mental stimulation, learning from each other, being attracted to just the way you smell, the way you look, the way I catch you looking at me, just the great conversations that we're having, being a safe space to be vulnerable and acceptance and understanding and all of those things. That's intimacy. Cooking together, cooking for each other, beautiful acts of service, doing kind things, massaging, that don't have to result in sex afterwards. I can go on and on about intimacy, but that was pretty much lacking to me in the connections that I was having. And there's romance and there's intimacy. Like I was saying, those examples, romance can be, setting up flowers and putting the flower petals throughout the house and the bath, running the bath and pulling out the chair and taking you on nice dates and things like that. But someone could be romantic with you and you still not feel an intimate connection with them. So yes, I do love romance, but I also want that deeper intimacy, that deeper level of connection and spirituality. And also, when it comes to the love languages, like I've spoken about this before, my love language, my top 2 love languages are words of affirmation and physical touch. So that is important to me as well, to be able to have those things expressed to me in an intimate way with my partner. And again, setting the mood is important. And when I say setting the mood, I feel like when you are in a sensual environment with the person that you are getting ready to make love to, every sense, all of your senses should be aroused. All of your senses should be activated. Your eyesight. What am I seeing? What does it look like? What is the ambiance of the room? How do you look? Do I catch, like I said, I love when I just catch somebody looking at me. Or, is the house clean? Is the space clean that we're in? Like, what are we looking at? Do we have eye contact? Hearing. I love music. Music is a love language to me. One of the most intimate, wonderful things for me is just sharing each other's songs on our playlist or sharing the things that we have in our phones. We could be sitting in the car just listening to music, vibing out. That's one of my favorite things to do. And then if we're sitting around in the house together, put some motherfucking music on. And I had a partner. I keep talking about partners. Don't think I'm talking about a whole bunch of different people. I'm talking about I'm not talking about a bunch of different people. Even if I am, don't judge. But I'm really not. I had a partner that, he's into sports. And if you listen to this, oh well, I told you how I feel. I ain't talking about you. I'm just sharing the experience. He watches sports all day. He watches ESPN or whatever. He might watch a movie or a show or whatever, but most of the time it's on ESPN. And, you want me to be in the mood. I'm asking you, can you turn on some music? And you're saying, no, you don't want to hear music. You want to just hear me. And I just feel like you have to be able to compromise when you are in an intimate space with somebody, because what might work for you might not work for the other person. So coming together to compromise on that. And for me, I love to hear music. It doesn't have to be super loud, but just that vibe. Put on some Silk or some H-Town or some of that new R&B that's got auto-tune in it. I fucks with that too. Like, set the mood. Put some music on. The smell. What does it smell like? Candles burning, incense burning. What you smell like? Like, let's heighten that. And then with the sight too, lighting. That shit matters. Dim the lights. I love the little red light special. Hook it up. Um, and then of course the feel, like how do you feel with, of course, your touch, your physical touch, and also just how you feel in general. And taste, you know, we won't go into that, but no, I'm just playing. You know, you could do aphrodisiacs, you could do different things as far as stimulating taste. But I feel like all of that is important, and that all wraps into the intimate setting and the intimate feeling. And again, eye contact. That was something that I struggled with, and you know, throughout my 20s, with when it comes to being intimate with someone, being comfortable enough to look into their eyes. And as a grown-ass woman now, I feel like, what do I look like laying up with you if I can't look into your eyes? Kissing is another thing. I've been saying for years that kissing is more intimate than sex, and a lot of people are like, no, but it's true. There are some people that you will have sex with that you would not want to kiss you. I know it personally, and I've heard stories from other people. And again, why in the world am I laying up with you and I can't kiss you, or I don't want to kiss you, don't have the desire to? And also skin to skin contact, just being close to one another. Like some people out here having sex fully clothed because they don't really even fuck with the person like that. They just pulling out stuff out of zippers and pulling panties to the side. Like, intimacy includes skin to skin contact as well. And again, what I was saying about trust, vulnerability, openness, freedom, like the freedom to just be yourself, be free, not feel judged, to be accepted, to be able to just be safe and secure with that person. And you know, that was another reason why I decided to go on my journey, because I just wasn't feeling that with the partners that I was choosing at the time. Another thing, I simply just needed more time for my own healing and self-discovery and self-love journey. Like, when you start having sex with people, or you have a partner that you're getting close with, it can be a distraction, especially if it's not a healthy interaction. It can distract you from your goals. It can distract you from pouring into yourself. And I had to learn how to do that separately so that I can know how to better do that when I am in a relationship again. Because, you know, I noticed that when I got involved with someone, I fell off with my self-care, self-love, with my visions, with my discipline. And now I have taken the time to really master those things on my own, so that I know how to prioritize that and to also incorporate someone else into that journey as well. And there were also some things that I needed to move past. There were some things that I still needed to heal from, that I would rather not bring that baggage into a new relationship or into a soul tie with someone. So I think that that's very important. If you're still holding on to a lot of things, or holding on to past traumas, or even pain from previous relationships or heartbreak, you know, when you lay down with someone and you're intertwining those souls, you're you're dumping off that energy, you're dumping off of those things that you are holding onto them. I also needed to free myself of my own limitations and inhibitions, which is some of the things, like if you follow me on Instagram, certain things that I put out, it's not for everybody else, even though I know people are going to be seeing it. I know people are going to comment on it or whatever, but it's for me. It's for my own journey of releasing the need for validation, releasing the need for acceptance from other people, and also releasing the how I want to say it. Just basically being okay with it myself. If I'm okay with it and I'm happy with it, I can freely be okay with releasing it to the world without worrying about what people think. So that was another thing that I needed to work on, and just fully accepting myself and understanding myself, and releasing some womb trauma as well. Like, we as women, we hold a lot of that trauma and pain and pent up resentment, and any type of, you know, if anyone has experienced sexual trauma, abortions, miscarriages, just anything traumatic, any type of abuse, any type of low confidence or just any type of pain that we've ever experienced, we hold all that, we carry all of that in our womb space. So I really needed to do a lot of womb trauma healing, a lot of accepting, a lot of releasing and forgiving and all of that too, before I felt like I needed to, or before I felt like I wanted to get with someone and share space with them as well. And again, diving deeper into my spirituality without distractions, because I wanted to be grounded in my own spirituality, in my own faith, in my own understanding, in my own connection with God, prior to being so influenced by someone else's beliefs or someone else's journey, or even taking it to that level. And as you get deeper into your spiritual journey and your connection with God and the God within you, you know, you look at sexual intercourse and sexual interactions on a different level, and you realize how spiritual that is as well. And so I wanted to do that journey on my own prior to connecting with someone new and tapping into my feminine energy as well, and being comfortable with my own sensuality, and just learning that part of myself even deeper than I already did, and learning my body, knowing what feels good to me, what doesn't feel good to me, what do I like, what do I need, what do I require, what do I have to offer as well, and learning about different aspects of sexuality, sensuality, and all of that. And so somebody asked me, what am I waiting for? When I talked about the fact that I've been abstaining for 2 years. And if you're thinking it's marriage, it ain't. We're gonna talk about it. So yes, they asked me what I do and who I do it for. No, I'm just playing. They asked me what I was waiting for. And the simple answer to that would just be the right connection. But to be more specific, again, my intentions are, even with dating, like, I don't want to waste my time with anyone who doesn't have the same intentions as me. Like, I want to know up front, are you actually on the journey of finding love, finding your partner? And when I say that, that doesn't mean that I want that person to say that they are committing to me, or that they intend on me being their woman or me being their person. I just want to know that you're on the path of finding your person, because that's what I'm on the path of aligning with my person. So if you are not looking for a woman, you don't want a girlfriend right now, you don't have these certain desires for your future, then let's not waste each other's time, because there's no hard feelings, no love lost. You just on some different shit than I am. And so the same when it comes to who I decide that I want to have, sexual intercourse with, to break this 2 years of celibacy, it's going to need to be a deep connection. It's somebody that I want to align with, that I have a deep connection with. And for me, it's very important that man is on his healing journey as well, or is putting in work to pour into himself to, really let go of whatever's going on in his past, that he's either above the level that I'm on right now as far as healing, or, we align on the same level as far as the work that we're doing. It's very important to me that this man is grounded in his spirituality and knows himself, and cares about himself, takes care of himself, and takes care of his business, but also cares about what he consumes as well. What is it that he puts in his body, and what is it that he, how does he care for himself? How does he love himself? How does he respect himself? That matters to me as well. And just, again, a man that is on the same path as me, that has clear intentions, that is in tune, and also that's someone that prioritizes my pleasure just as much as theirs, because there are some selfish lovers out here. And, you can mess around and get fooled thinking that somebody is on the same level as you, and all they're having sex for is just to get to their, busting nut and wham bam, thank you ma'am, and I'm not interested in that type of connection. So what I'm just waiting on the right time for myself and for that person, and the right connection. I'm not looking for any booty calls, smash buddies, situationships, or anything like that. And I would recommend abstinence or celibacy to any adult, and even if you're in a relationship, to practice it sometimes, because sometimes, again, you need to clear your mind of distractions. You need to increase your intimacy that doesn't necessarily revolve around sex. You need to give yourself time to heal and to just get yourself aligned with the vibration that you really want to be on. And again, when I was talking about I've been saying again a lot, I just noticed. I was talking about sexual energy is creative energy. And what that means is the same energy that we use, for our sexuality and our sensuality, that same energy is creative energy. It comes from the same space, comes from the same place. And that energy can be transmuted. You don't have to necessarily act on that and it's just you're horny or you're lusting over people and you have to have sex and you have to release that in a sexual way. You can release that sexual energy through dance. You can release that energy through hip opening exercises like yoga, or just, doing some bending down and some squats and some movement. You can release it hula hooping. You can release it by birthing new ideas and really get into your creativity, whether that's expressing yourself through art, expressing yourself through cooking. You can do it through multiple ways, however, whatever creativity means to you. Releasing that creative energy and those creative juices and using that energy as well to manifest the things that you want in your life. That's a powerful energy. And I was about to say again. Oh, Lord. But I wanted to talk about sacral chakra healing. That is also something that is very important to work on, whether you're celibate or not, but preferably while you're celibate, because again, I'm going to count how many times I said it. But your sacral chakra is located about 2 inches below your navel, 2 inches above your pubic area. It is the orange chakra, the second chakra. It is the chakra of creativity, sensuality, sexuality, all of those things, and feminine energy as well. And I have my book of chakras right here. I wanted to read a few things. So the physical activities, again, that you can do to help with the sacral chakra healing is yoga, dance, swimming, walking. Spiritual activities you can do is meditation, celibacy, and fasting. That is also very important. And of course, like I said, it's orange is the color. The element is water. The aspect of intelligence is sensation and pleasure. And sensory experience is taste. Some essential oils that you can use when you're working on sacral chakra healing is jasmine, neroli, and orange blossom. And some crystals that you can use are carnelian, tiger's eye, and onyx. So it says here the qualities and attributes, the essence of the sacral chakra is knowing that what we have and do is good enough. So that's important as well. It's the center of physical procreation and the chakra directly affecting sexual maturation. It controls our appetites for food, sex, and pleasure. If we are too indulgent, we burn up vital life fuel required by other systems in our body. And if we hold back too much energy from the physical part of our lives, we become hungry for what we deny ourselves. Finding the balance between control and letting go is essential for the sacral, or for the chakra to function. I'm not going to read all of it, but I also, the qualities that are covered by this chakra are well-being, sexuality, sensuality, pleasure, and abundance. I wanted to read these affirmations for the sacral chakra from this book. This is the Book of Chakras, Discover the Hidden Forces Within You. This is a book I got about 5 years ago, and it's it's pretty simple, but it gives a lot of good information. But these are the affirmations that they put in here, and they say to repeat these affirmations once every morning and once every evening to bring openness to your sacral chakra. I love my life. I honor my body and treat myself respectfully. I feel the power of healing moving in and through me as I affirm in my worth and honor my body. I trust my feelings and give them ample room for expression. I lighten my body each time I feel well in myself. I am a creature of light, open to my highest joy. I am grateful for the joy of being me. I receive pleasure and abundance with every breath I take. Goodness, beauty, and joy resonate with my soul. I am one with them. Healing happens each time I rest, relax, and enjoy myself. My body responds to my thoughts of pure love and goodness. I heal any condition that affects me by knowing my body seeks balance and regeneration. I stimulate my immunity by knowing God lives in and through me. I encourage healing each time I affirm my worth and honor my choices for love. I love who I am exactly as I am. There is nothing to change about the way I am. As I love and respect myself, healing happens naturally. So that is something that you can recite to yourself if you're working on your sacral chakra. And you know what? When people are having a lot of sex and being sexually active with a lot of people, especially if you're being careless and you're not really taking time to get to know people and find out their status, their history, and all of that, you know, you can get infections, you can get STIs, STDs, and things like that. But another thing, women, sometimes you're getting these frequent infections like BV, yeast infections, and things like that. That's not always because of your partner. That could be because you have so much pent up resentment and pain and trauma that you're not letting go, or your mood is so heavily affected by other people, or you're angry, or you're just going through your own shit and you're holding all of that in. That can mess up your pH balance as well. And so, you know, taking that time to really get yourself together and work on your health. What are you eating? What are you putting in your body? What type of products are you using for your yoni and for your sacred space? All of that is important as well. And sometimes it takes taking a break from sex to get all of that and snap all of that back together. While we're on the topic of, you know, what you're putting on your yoni or in your body, green juices and eating more plant-based and stuff really helps you with your yoni. If you know I'm vegan or whatever. I'm vegan and I try to eat more plant-based and processed. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but all of that type of thing matters, and sometimes you need a reset of fasting, or just to take a detox, or just take a moment for yourself to eat better. And this is another book that I would strongly recommend when you're on your healing journey, which is Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. Of course, everyone knows about it. But if you need guidance with certain type of juices to make and certain type of plant-based meals that are really helpful for womb healing specifically, this is definitely a tool that you can utilize. As you can see, mine is nice and warm because I've been doing some work, and I really took I did some work this year specifically on Gateway Zero for 21 days, just getting up at 4 a.m. and taking my spiritual baths and spending time at my altar and writing in my womb journal. And those are things that you'll learn more about when you get this book. But I wanted to read from here the womb affirmations from Sacred Journey or Sacred Woman. The womb affirmations, revelation to regeneration. And it says to put on or play beautiful music, flute, piano, or tambourine or timbre finger piano, or be silent as you do your womb meditation and recite your litany of womb regeneration affirmations. I love my womb, she pleases me. My womb's in perfect harmony. My womb is disease-free. There are no tumors, cysts, discharges or PMS in my womb. My womb is happy and whole, free of any and all disease. I send love to my womb. I send peace to my womb. I send light and breath to my womb. My womb is the seat of my womanness. My power as a woman rests within me. I release and let go of all births and disappointments as I affirm. I will turn every lesson into a blessing. I receive the lessons through my prayers and meditations. I release all baggage from my womb's memory. I replace the whirlwind of negativity with truth and divine love. My womb will never again get stuck in the ignorance of womb disease, for I commit myself to womb wellness. And that is just one of many things that you will have in this wonderful guide. It is a guide to healing the feminine body, mind, and spirit. And it's thick. It's a lot to take in. I've had this book for a few years. Last year I read it from cover to cover, and this year I started to actually apply the work in order. So it's definitely something that you can pace yourself, or you can go ahead and go through all the gateways at once. But as I was saying earlier, the things that you use to cleanse yourself with, like, take some time to do your yoni steams. All of, that helps you to release that trauma as well, and release that. Not only does it have physical benefits, but it has spiritual benefits as well. You're cleansing your womb with those herbs, with the steam from the herbs. And the products that you use, like, they have so many wonderful natural feminine products. Summer's Eve is not it. Soaps do not belong down there either. You should really get a cleansing. There are some soaps that are designed specifically for your yoni, but the commercial soaps, no. Really get some amazing products that are specifically for your feminine care. And again, Summer's Eve is not good. There's too many chemicals and things in it. You want to get, the products that I use are all Black woman owned. So I like Honey Pot. I like Film Magic. I like Nini's Organic. And there's one other, I'll have to find it and put it in the caption, that I used before a while ago that I really like. But you can find so many amazing things that you can cleanse yourself with. And I've talked about this before. Yes, our vaginas are self-cleaning, but a lot of people don't know the difference between your vagina and your vulva. So your vagina is the opening that goes inside that leads to your cervix and your womb. No, you do not put soap up there. But we do have a vulva, which includes our pubic area, our outer and inner labia, everything that's on the outside, and within the folds. All of that needs to be cleansed. Like saying that you just putting some water on that needs to be cleansed, ma'am. And so there are gentle cleansers specifically designed for you for that. Even what you use when you are menstruating, free bleeding, some people do that, and that is wonderful as well, to be able to, if you're, have the ability to just lay a towel down and just be free with it and walk around and it's not gonna get everywhere. There's menstrual cups. There are pads that are organic, 100% cotton. There are herbal pads. Honey Pot has a really good pad that has the essentials, like lavender and aloe and different things on the pad that give you that, and menthol, they give you that little minty feeling down there. There's some organic tampons too, if tampons are your thing. But really paying attention to what we put in our bodies, what we use during our menstrual cycles, what we cleanse ourselves with. And sometimes, you have to go on that journey alone or outside of a relationship and really get to know your body. All of that matters as well. Why some people should really think about taking some time to be celibate, to get your shit together. Snap that. Who I said that? However, Mike Epps did it. But be at one with your yoni. Learn yourself. Like, sacred woman. There's another book I have upstairs called Pussy Prayers. Like, really getting in tune, getting to know your sacred space and your yoni, and developing a relationship with her, having conversations with her. What does she need? Journaling and talking to her and expressing your forgiveness or your asking for forgiveness for any time that you may have mistreated her or allowed anybody in your sacred space that didn't belong. Forgiving yourself. Sometimes people have experienced trauma and they blame themselves for it. So all of that time, you need to spend time with getting to know and love and honor your womb and your yoni. And when you do choose a partner, honor your womb and your yoni. Honor her. Honor yourself with who you're deciding to lay with. Nobody should just have all access pass to you if they're not deserving. And same with men. Men, y'all gotta step up y'all selectiveness when it comes to who you're giving yourself to as well. So that is something that is very important. Taking care of your pH balance, getting yourself away from too many distractions and getting on path with your goals and becoming more disciplined and learning yourself, getting to know your body, owning your sensuality and being comfortable within yourself, so that when you do share your time with a partner that you know yourself. Can't nobody tell you about you the way you could tell yourself. And just letting go of those inhibitions so you can have a good time when you're in those moments. And also being clear with your own intentions to know exactly what it is that you want and what you're doing this for. Are you just doing it to get a nut, or are you actually intentional with what it is that you're doing? And not saying that every union has to result in love and not love, but that has to result in a long-term relationship or children. But at the moment that you are laying down with this person, what are y'all intentions with each other? How do you feel? How do you connect? Do you respect each other? Do they respect your body? Do you respect theirs? And all of that is important to me. Increasing your, not really increasing, but I would say tapping into your feminine energy. Ladies, that's something that is also a wonderful time to do that when you're on your solo journey of celibacy or just healing or whatever. Some things that you can do things for yourself, the things that you want to give to these partners. We put so much emphasis on, when I have my man, I'm gonna do this, and when I get my man, I'm gonna do this. Do it for yourself. Start getting sexy for yourself. Get you some nice lingerie and get you some nice, beautiful nightgowns and satin robes, or if that's your thing, or whatever makes you feel sexy to walk around the house in, instead of a ratty t-shirt and some old shorts or a gown that you've been wearing for years cooking fried chicken in. Like, get you some sexy stuff to wear around the house. Fix yourself up for you. Take pictures of yourself, sexy pictures of yourself for you. Get in that mirror and dance for yourself. Get naked, look at your body, learn your body, love your body. One of the things that my mother says in the Lady Academy in her guided journal, which is also, I believe it's also in Sacred Woman and in Pussy Prayers, which my mom has not read either, but it's something that works, like looking at your yoni in the mirror, learning her, affirming her. Also, smell good for yourself. Get you some nice perfumes and some nice body butters and different things, and smell good for yourself. You don't have to save that for a date. You don't have to save that for a man or for a relationship. Start doing things that make you feel sexy. Again, like I said on I'm so sick of myself saying again. I'm sorry. Like I said on the previous show, date yourself and be sexy about it. Like, you don't have to dress down to go take yourself on a date. Get dressed up, feel good, get into your sensuality, turn on some music and dance, light some incense, light some candles, meditate. Of course, we all know it's, some people have different rules for their own journey of celibacy, but masturbation. Learn how to please yourself, learn how to touch yourself, learn what works for you. Explore your body, find out what your pleasure points are, and just explore. Get to know yourself, love yourself, honor yourself with everything that you do. You don't have to go on a celibacy journey. You don't have to be abstinent. You can do this while you're in a relationship or with a partner. But if you are solo right now, stop getting down about it and utilize this time to level up. Because once you know yourself and you're at this certain space where you know what you deserve and know what you want to accept in your sacred spaces, you're unstoppable. You're going to align and attract somebody that, you know, honors you just the same that you honor yourself. If you don't honor yourself, why should they? So that is my rant and my contribution to this episode. If you have any questions about going on a celibacy journey or being abstinent or how to love yourself, how to learn to love yourself, feminine wellness, feminine care, different recipe for juices or herbs that you can use, or yoni steams. I'm actually a certified yoni steam practitioner. I'm a certified life coach. Another thing, I've been studying Reiki for a couple of years. That is another way that you can clear your chakras. I didn't mention earlier is Reiki healing and different types of healing that way. Again, I talked about crystal healing, but Reiki is another way as well that you can clear your chakras. So you would want to either learn Reiki yourself, that you can perform on yourself, get a distance healer, that's someone that can do it from a distance, or go to an actual practitioner in person that can help you clear that chakra. And I wish anyone luck and beautiful vibes and beautiful experiences on whatever journey that you're on. Get into your creativity and release some of that beautiful energy into your work. Make something happen, create something, get into whatever makes you happy and brings you joy, and everything else is going to fall into place. So I thank you all for sharing this intimate space with me today. We talked about sex, baby. We talked about intimacy. We talked about sexual energy. And what else? Celibacy. We talked about sex. Thank you for sharing this space with me. If you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to comment. If you're listening to this on any of the streaming platforms, I'm sure there's a way to comment under, like Spotify and Apple Music, but you can always visit me at Asha Cerise on my Instagram, Facebook, Cool Weirdos IG as well on Instagram. We're going to be on YouTube under Asha Cerise. That's where you can see the actual visuals of the show if you prefer to see me versus just listen. But yeah, you can always hit me up if you have any questions or feedback about this show. Please like, share, comment, spread the news, share this with somebody that you think could actually use this information and would enjoy this show. Thank you again, and I will talk to y'all later.